Thanks once again, Shoots. Congratulations to Team Mamelodi Sundowns. Congratulations to our fantastic group of players, and congratulations to the entire technical team for a lot of work that went in behind the scenes, and congratulations to the Sundowns supporters. Yeah, look, first half not so good, not so good. Too many movements. But and it sounds crazy to say that, but it is, and sometimes even when you work a little bit in preparing for an opposition that is orientated in a man-to-man sort of scheme, and sometimes the automatic reaction is to think that you need to do a lot of movements without the ball so that you can get rid of your marker, but contrary to that is then you compromise the structure, and once you compromise the structure, you have very little possibilities to retain possession, and then very little possibilities to counter press, high press, and yeah, it was better in the second half, and we improved that. So yeah, well deserved 3 points with a good second half showing.
Thanks, Chupi. Congratulations, coach. My question, if I could also just give context to it as well. Just wanted to find out, you sort of what would you say sets you apart, especially for this season? I mean, when you've won 4 league titles in a row and you've started 10 points in 4 games, some are saying give them the trophy already. Some are saying the season is a marathon. But in the context of how you finished the previous season, 4 titles, how you've started, what's setting you apart? Is it the recruitment, the aggressive recruitment, the technical setup, or the support structure, combination of everything?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people say it's the resources we have, and it's true. We are blessed to have the leadership that we have. We are blessed to have the leaders in the president, the chairman, to support us as much as they support us, the management of the club, and really you can't speak in isolation with regards to the success of this club. Ours is to try to just continue the success that was achieved by our predecessors, and fulfill the objectives that are set by this big institution. We are fortunate we come into a club that's got very well established culture, the culture that's embedded by a relentless work ethic, and yeah, good. We are where we are, and at this moment in time, yeah, as you said even earlier, the league is a marathon. We've got to be professional, we've got to be diligent, and now it's about resting, recovering. Then we analyze the game tonight, and we check the corrections, and then we prepare for a very difficult game against a good side in Orlando Pirates.
Yes, thank you, Shubi, and congratulations, coach. Just your comment on Thabiso Kutumela getting his first goal. Could this be, first of many? And then secondly, are we yet to see the best of Mamelodi Sundowns yet?
Yeah, your second question, very true. And not because we won the match, now we start singing a different song. Match day 1, we knew that 5-6 games before, as the season progresses, we knew that we were not going to be at our best, and it's still evident. The first half was a little bit in patches. We showed very good signs. The second half, we were a lot more dominant. The rhythm was a lot better. The personality of the team was a little bit more in the space that we want. We don't want to have a team that competes. We want a team that dominates, and that's what we want, and that's what we showed a little bit. And also in the second half, where structurally we were much better. The usage of the ball was a lot better. And our schemes in and out of possession were excellent. we try to make sure that one, we look to play a perfect game. We speak about it all the time. Of course, perfection doesn't exist, but the desire to want to be perfect is very important, because when you chase perfection, even when you don't attain it, you reach a level of excellence, and that's what we want. We want a perfect game. We want to have every pass perfect, every build-up perfect, every pressing scheme perfect. And we work in a way that this is the demand that we put on the team in training. But at the same time, we also want to be a team that is very difficult to play against. We don't want anyone that comes and plays Mamelodi Sundowns and thinks it's a walk in the park. So from a technical, tactical perspective, it's important that we get our preparation right, and we move in a way that speaks about humility, respect, but also to repay the work that we put in behind the scenes, because we work extremely hard, and there's a lot of investment that happens in the club holistically. So it's very important that the performance of the team, the personality of the team reflects that. On Kutumela, yeah, we brought him to the club exactly for that, to score goals, to assist the team, and when you see the amount of work that even when he comes in, immediately he's pressing, and he's assisting the team with regards to a lot of the work that we do out of possession and off the ball. And he's a player that, of course, will grow and grow with the team, because the team still also needs to grow. But you can say the same about even an Aubrey Modiba. You can say the same about Hashim Domingo. You can say the same about Villa. You saw his impact, although he didn't score, but he comes in with the right attitude and wants to assist the team in ensuring that the performance is very good. And the same can be said about Lesedi Kapinga. The same can be said about George Malulega. All these players are very, very important. And they're part of Mamelodi Sundowns. And when you're part of Sundowns, you're part of the family, and we respect and appreciate everyone here. And their time will come. They've just got to compete for the position and be patient. And it's still a very long season, and everybody's going to get an opportunity to play.
Oh, thank you very much, Chupi. Good evening, Coach. Congratulations on the victory. I think well deserved. Coach, I think obviously one thing that I've picked up is that it looks like you guys have really worked hard on your defense, because you haven't considered thus far. Was that one of the key areas that you guys focused on in preseason? And secondly, Coach, just I think one of our job is to really educate. In simple terms, Coach, rest defense, so that we can also educate the supporters. Can you just in simple terms educate us in terms of the words rest defense? Thank you.
I love speaking football, so please more questions about the technicalities of the game. I love those type of questions. But yeah, no, Karabo, you see, I'm so excited about jumping into the question about the rest defense. I've forgotten the first question. What was the first question? Oh, the defense. Oh, look, we have certain schemes in our play, and without exposing too much, it is clear that we don't defend from the defensive line, and we don't rely only on our goalkeepers. I think, if I remember correctly, apart from one or two headers from Ego on dead ball situations, I think Dennis only pulled up one very big save, and to restrict a good side like Tears Galaxy into one big chance over 90 minutes reflects how important our overall organization is. The way you defend is a reflection of what you do when you are in possession of the ball. We are very clear on that. And our relationship between what we do in possession, how we use the ball, and what positions we take up, we know that then influences the breakdown and the reaction thereafter when we are out of possession. So a lot of the work that we do in the team is about our offensive principles. And then your offensive principles immediately reflect when you are out of possession. There's a clear relationship, and all big teams have this. Yeah, good. The work that Peter does from the top, Kermit does from the top, and even when you see Kutumela, Villa coming in, and last week you saw now Miami coming in and contributing, and then you've got what we speak about as a safety net just behind the first line of the press. Those are very, very important. So it's not just about the quality and the hard work in terms of the concentration and the discipline of our defensive line, but really, in all honesty, the work starts on top and with our front line. And it's just a continuation because the principles were set last season, and it helped us not to only lose one match in domestic competitions and concede only 14 goals last season. So it's just a continuation from last season, and yeah, good. We've got a top team with top individuals and human beings, and it becomes a lot easier to work on these principles. Rest defense, Karabo, is something that is predominantly coming into football a lot more. I think the one team that has it right, if you watch a lot Chelsea, and you see how Thomas Tuchel sets up his team, that's where the education is. We try to strive to get to that level. We want to be just as good as some of the top teams in the modern game, and that means that when and even in South Africa, where predominantly a lot of teams rely heavily on transitions, it means that your rest defense has got to be proper. And what that means is that you are resting in a defensive phase while you are in possession of the ball. So you're defending passively, but you are in possession and you are in attack, and that's what rest defense is about. Rest defense means being ready to defend, being in the right positions offensively, and you are ready to defend when a breakdown takes place. And we work very, very hard on this, and it's good that it reflects in the game. It's good that it reflects in the results. But as I always say, the game belongs to the players, and they work and they bring these principles and these schemes to life, and we've got to just give them a lot of kudos and a lot of respect and appreciation for the diligence that they show throughout 90 minutes.
Coach, just wanted to check with you, Sapang, sorry. Who's the Sundowns captain? And secondly, you mentioned last week, I just couldn't ask the question because the press conference finished. Lila K not being in the squad, you felt that he should be there. Why do you feel he should be there?
Who's the Sundowns captain? We've got unbelievable leaders in the change room. I mean, from Kennedy Mwini to Dennis Tonyango to Musa Nyatama. We don't rely only on who has the armband. We've got a lot of senior players that assume a lot of responsibility in the change room, and because of that, it becomes very easy for us it becomes just a formality. The FIFA rules say somebody must wear the armband, but the reality is any one of our 36 players can be a leader and can be a captain. So we believe in that sort of leadership style where we want accountability, we want responsibility, but we also want what we call shared leadership, and once you have shared leadership, you then move into having a team that in your defensive line, you've got leaders, in your midfield line, you've got leaders, AJ, River, could easily be wearing the armband. So we are in that space, and fortunate that we've got so many personalities, big, strong personalities that are able to lead the team, and that's the way we love the team to have this. They control the change room, and they help us. And really, to be honest, it's not just about wearing the armband or even in good moments you show leadership. It's very easy to lead when things are okay and smooth and rosy. But what we look for in our players is the ability to stand up and to be counted, to have presence in the changing room, on the pitch when things do not go so well. And that's what we have. We have so many of these personalities, and we are extremely fortunate that we have that, which then puts us in a position where we don't really rely on the armband to show who our leaders are, So, yeah, we are in that space where we've got so many, and we are fortunate to be in that space. The second question was, Lila K. Well, I watch Bafana. I watch Bafana against Ghana. I watch the entire COSAFA tournament. And you want to ask me why I think Lyle is not in the Bafana team, is because when I watch Bafana, I see Makgopa up front, I see Hlongwane up front, and then I see a right-footed fullback at left back. So.
Thank you, Shubi. Evening, coach, and congratulations, Fidel from Frontrunner. 4 wins, lost nothing, and you haven't conceded, coach. Do you think the Champions League will be a place where you will be truly, truly tested? I know you don't underestimate any teams, but do you think the Champions League, that's where you think you'll be really tested? Thank you.
Yeah, of course, the Champions League is the playground, is the natural habitat for Mamelodi Sundowns, of course. Sundowns is a big club. The Champions League is a big stage for big clubs, and that's the level that we want to be in. But the reality is, football is such a difficult sport that if you get too far ahead of yourself, you're going to have a lot of problems. So we work match by match, day by day. We want to win every single match. And that means that we've got to win every single day. Every training session must be a win. Every rest day must be a win, because we believe those are invisible training sessions where the nutrition needs to be right, the rest of the players needs to be right, and we have to win. And by winning every single day, we then put ourselves in a position to win on match day. And the amount of work that has to be done by the technical team with regards to planning training sessions, planning for a specific opponent, planning to review the previous performances, making sure that we do our corrections, we analyze the strengths, the weaknesses of the opponents. The amount of time that it takes to prepare for a match also just doesn't allow us to get too far ahead of ourselves. So we go step by step, match by match, competition by competition, and without even thinking too much about Champions League. Of course, we have one eye on it. We know where we're going for the qualifying round, and but our focus 150% is on Orlando Pirates now. Okay, we rest, we recoup and regenerate. We analyze the game, and we try to find the areas where we have to improve, and we are going to improve. But at the same time, we also know that we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. It's a club that is built on respect. It's a club that is built on family values, and it's a club that's been built on humility. And you demonstrate those by paying attention even to the smallest and minutest of details, by showing a lot of humility every single day and working hard, and that's what we focus on. So without getting too far ahead of ourselves, the next and the most important match is the most important for us.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations on that emphatic victory once again. Coach, some developments from this afternoon. With DRC, we always know TP Mazembe, AS Vita, but now to see a different team in your next opponent, Maniema Union, I think they won 3-1 on aggregate. I'm sure because you're just less than a month before you meet them, you've been following them.
Yeah, it's the way the club works. It's the policy of the club. First it was the draw, and that's the first step, understanding the draw so that you can map your way into the Champions League. And then with one eye, you look at the tie, because you want to know, is it Gabon, is it DRC? Because there's so many permutations with regards to that. COVID comes into play, traveling arrangements come into play, and fortunately, we've got a team behind the scenes that's got so much experience on the African continent with regards to these preparations and making sure that everything is planned to the T without missing any small, minute detail, because at that stage, everything is important and everything reflects within the performance of the team and influences the result. So, yeah, of course, we can't run away from the fact that we've had one eye on it. But as I say, step by step, game by game, we've got so many fixtures before that. I mean, we've got difficult fixtures where there's an Orlando Pirates that's waiting. There's Golden Arrows for a very important second leg. And then there's a Morocco Swallows team that did exceptionally well last season. They've recruited extremely well. And they are much stronger than even today's result against SuperSport suggests. So, yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. We've got to just keep focused, and even though we still keep one eye there, but some of those things we delegate to our management and make sure that we trust in them because they've got the experience in handling these sort of issues. But we are in that space where we want to do well in the Champions League, and doing well in the Champions League means being progressive and being a step ahead of everybody else, and that's where we are. But as I say, first things first, you can never ever in football put the cart before the horse, and if you do that, it means regressing or remaining stagnant, and we don't want to do that.
There's a text question here about Musa Lubusa's calmness at the back. If you can just having him back and just how calm he is. If you can just maybe elaborate on that, coach.
Top football player. We've seen his contribution and his leadership overall. Yeah, you run out of superlatives when you try to describe, but you can speak so much about every single player. In fact, I don't know how we chose man of the match today, because you could have chosen any one of the Sundowns players from the starting 11 to the subs. The most difficult job today was on the people responsible for, I don't know what you call them, adjudicators, I don't know what you call them, but the people that choose the man of the match today was you could have chosen anybody. Super 5-star performances from a lot of the players, particularly in the second half. So Musa was one of them, and as we spoke about his influence in our build-up schemes, a team that goes man to man and tries to pin us into our half with the build-up. Sometimes then you need a little bit of this overload on the left with Lyle and Musa, and we work on this scheme. But good, congratulations to River for being man of the match, well deserved. But as I say, it could easily have been given to any one of the Mamelodi Sundowns football players.
Does the coach expect Lebusa Lake to be recalled to Bafana by the coach?
Look, we respect the Bafana coach. He's got to make his own decisions. And he's got his own job to do. I mean, can you imagine 52 million people who have opinions about who should be in the Bafana team? We can't do that. I mean, I'm a football coach. I know what it's like to be put in a position where you are under a lot of scrutiny and a lot of pressure to put certain players. But if we speak on meritocracy, if we speak about having the best players representing the national team, then for sure, then without being biased or sounding biased. And of course, if you ask me about any Mamelodi Sundowns player, the first answer would definitely be yes, because I've got to also look after the interests of our players. We want our players to be exposed to the national teams. We want our players to represent the nation, and that's why we sign the best players in the country. And when you have the best players in the country, you expect to go into a FIFA window without any player. In fact, during the FIFA break, the best thing for us is to go to the MDC side and go to the under-19s, go to under-13s and hold training sessions there. That's what we would like to do during the FIFA break, is to try to breed this culture, playing style, into our youth. And the only way to do that is by having all our players going to represent the national team. So maybe a simple way to answer your question is yes, because we love our players, we believe in our players, and we believe that they are the best in the country. And when they show that they are the best and they work hard and on merit, they show that they deserve to be in the national team, then of course, without putting pressure on the Bafana technical team, of course, the answer is yes.